Ivermectin to avoid getting cancer? What? Well, if you'll stick around for the rest of this video, we're gonna dive deep on ivermectin and its potential to help out with avoiding cancer, along with other strategies to avoid cancer, try to keep that away from your body. Today I wanna talk about prophylactic treatment for cancer. So trying to stay ahead of getting cancer, trying to avoid getting cancer, essentially. Okay, so there's three areas that I think of when I think about trying to avoid cancer. Number one is inflammation. Inflammation in our lives just destroys our body. So whether that's inflammation from processed foods, refined sugars, inflammation from alcohol, tobacco, nicotine, etc., inflammation from stress like cortisol, those are some of the top ones I worry about in that first tier. Second priority, I really start thinking about things that we can improve. So number one in this area would be sleep, trying to improve our sleep and our exercise. Essentially, try to get the machine working to the best of its ability. I also consider stress part of this as well. You know, stress is one of those things that creates inflammation in our bodies, but also stress can wear us down and start making us choose the wrong things. So I kind of loop it into both those priority areas. And then we get to kind of my third priority, which is the area where most Americans just go straight to it. To be honest with you, I'm right there with you. It's nice to have pizza and ice cream, and it's nice to not have to get to bed on time. It's difficult sometimes to avoid those things. And yet I will find myself very quickly reaching for the third tier here. And with that third tier, I usually look at adding a few supplements or making some adjustments. So don't forget the first two priorities. But priority number three, what else would we add? Vitamin D is really important. I've said this on a lot of other videos. Get your vitamin D levels checked. There are ways to get it done cheaply. Some labs have it down for like $400 or something crazy for a vitamin D test. A lab called Rupa, R-U-P-A, Rupa Health. They have options for very affordable, like $20 to $30 vitamin D checks. Not always accessible to everyone, but there's ways to get it done more affordably. Keep an eye on your vitamin D. Don't want to overdose, but definitely don't undertreat it. So vitamin D is huge. Low dose melatonin. Low dose melatonin has got a lot of data behind it for how it can boost the immune system, especially boosting the immune system in a way that can attack and target cancer cells, especially early on in the process. So yeah, look at that. Now I say low dose melatonin because there's some data on high dose melatonin disrupting your sleep, not really aiding in your sleep and causing some other difficulties. So I would focus on the low dose so that way you get the benefits without some of the potential harms. So low dose melatonin, look it up. That's a fun one. And then the next one I think about is using ivermectin. What? Ivermectin? Is that what you just said? The anti-parasite? Yeah, ivermectin. Isn't that crazy? So there's something about the anti-inflammatory effects or something along the lines. Ivermectin does not really jive well with cancer cells. They just don't like it. It's something down in maybe like the nucleus area of the cancer cell. We'll talk more about actually using ivermectin as an adjunct if you're on chemotherapy. We'll talk about that in another video. But ivermectin can be great as a prophylaxis. There's a good few studies, more than a few studies around the world now. When I first started using this years ago, there were only a few studies. Now it's gaining a lot of steam, a lot of traction, and everywhere, kind of except the US, which is funny, but especially in Europe, and I've seen some in Australia. So be looking at that, ivermectin for prophylaxis. But the idea there is not that you would take it every day. There's a bunch of different protocols out there. Doing it like every other day, or some have you do it for a month or two and then take a little break. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. But ivermectin can be really good, really simple way to add to all these other things that you're doing to try to reduce inflammation and to try to keep cancer from growing. So in a future video, maybe we'll tackle some of the additive things you can do to try to support oncology treatments or whatever else you're doing for active cancer. But this is more of a prophylactic, kind of avoiding cancer, not letting it get started in your body style video. So with that, hope you're all doing well out there. Remember those top three, especially cleaning up the inflammation in your life, and then healthy things you can add or do better, and then finally the supplements and things like that that you can add in those top three tiers.